Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Well, hello, Earthlings. Once again, the Galactic Cruiser Lifestyle Buzz makes a stop on planet Earth in order to share the connection to better living with your pal Orly here. Last Wednesday was St. Patrick's Day, and for a brief moment in time, we all became Irish, ate corned beef with potatoes and cabbage, soda bread, great Irish butter, and of course, a little bit of green beer. Not one person that I spoke with regardless of skin color, nationality, or gender, had anything negative to say about this day. Everybody kind of joined in because it was a fun thing to do. And I have to tell you one thing. There are many cultures out there also celebrating great fun things to do. And I think we need to stop kind of criticizing because of the roots of where they come from and just join in and have a blast with all of these. I know like Cinco de Mayo is coming up pretty soon. And I think we all need to, at that time, we all need to become Mexican. You know what? That's all there is to it. And have a lot of time to have some fun. I think we are making a lot of headway into trying to get back into the normal swing of things. So let's try harder to be more neighborly. Let's try harder to be more in tune with reality and to be one with all. Michael, you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I really like Cinco de Mayo, especially I live in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, and, you know, everybody kind of opens up their backyards. Yeah. They have great music. They're great. I mean, the food is unbelievable. Fireworks at night, too. So that's why I love living in Los Angeles. All that multiculturalism, and it's a great place to live.
You know what? It is something that sometimes you read that some celebration of, I mean, I don't know, Chinese New Year or whatever. And there's a lot of people that actually make a big negative thing to do. I think all of these events are fun. I mean, the gay parade is fun. I mean, you name it. It's just about having a blast. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, Chinese New Year was great. And I was really happy to go to the elementary school I went to, because we would celebrate all that. Because we had a very multicultural school, so we'd celebrate Chinese New Year with the little red envelopes, which is always fun. St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo, and it definitely taught us multiculturalism and intersectionality, which I think has carried me forward in my life.
Did you have your fill of corned beef?
Not this year, no. Normally we do, because actually St. Patrick's Day usually falls on my grandfather's birthday, who's Irish. And so we usually have corned beef and stuff like that. But because of COVID, he just got his second vaccine, so he's still kind of in the grace period. But I'm sure next year we're going to go down there and have some corned beef and cabbage. It's going to be fantastic.
Sounds good. You know what? Today we're going to have a really fun day. We're going to have two guests. My first guest is going to be a man by the name of Sean Halami. And I think I'm pronouncing it right. But anyway, he's into real estate. He's going to tell us all about it. And then we have Raul Alejandro Ayala and the CBD Connection. So we are going to have some great time. And we'll be right back.
Is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-391-8713. 800-391-8713. That's 800-391-8713.
All right, we are back, and this is your pal Orly here with Lifestyle Buzz. And my next guest is going to be Sean Halakmi, and he happens to be a very good real estate person to talk to. So, Sean, are you there?
Yes, hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. Yes, I can, and I can see you too.
Okay, good. I can't see you.
Well, you're not missing much, I tell you. Anyway, you are a real estate agent. You're a broker.
I'm a real estate broker, yes.
You have your own agency and the whole thing.
Yes.
Real estate purchases have never been a slam dunk. A lot of people used to say, well, yeah, I could just go there and get whatever I want. But there's many steps that have to go through in order to procure the property. Are the circumstances of today making it harder to buy a house?
Harder than 12 years ago, sure, but kind of basic and par for the course from past history. You have to qualify and get a loan.
Now, with the COVID situation being that there's a shortage of jobs and people are having money problems and all of that, is it almost impossible to qualify in these days?
Not at all. We've seen a very strange phenomenon in real estate during COVID. And it's really sad that some employees are not working, people aren't working, and unemployment is high. Though people who have salaried, high-paying jobs are still all working out there, and they're the ones who are buying. It's a great time to be a seller right now. Our inventory is very low.
Is it?
We have 1 to 2 months supply in most areas, which a healthy market is considered a 6-month supply, and we have a fraction of that. And so we're seeing 10, 20, 30, and 40 offers on each house. So when a buyer gets a house, you have 30 other people who didn't get the house. And homes are selling within, 3, 4, 5 days of hitting the market. Anything with a yard, anything with a space outdoors is very desirable right now.
Okay. COVID has placed a certain protections on payments. In some cases, mortgage carryovers can end up being very substantial.
Yes.
Do you anticipate an increase in foreclosures?
Probably not. And the reason is that we fixed the problem we had 10 years ago where people could buy a house with zero down. And now you have to have, you can still get an FHA loan with 3.5% down, and you can still get 5% down loans, but most transactions are 10 and 20% down. So if the market comes to a halt and prices start to fall, or people can't make their payments even after the forbearance and all that is over, they still have equity in their property. So if they can't make the payments, instead of having to go to foreclosure, they can just sell the property. And sometimes they can actually have built up more equity and make money off of the transaction, not necessarily just leave with zero like they did 10 years ago. So at this point, we don't anticipate much of a foreclosure hit.
Did you anticipate an adjustment in pricing structure? Because, the California market is very, very high, almost close to New York, or even par. Do you foresee lowering of prices?
It's hard to say. That's the crystal ball story, and I can't. My crystal ball's still in the shop. It's getting fixed.
It's getting batteries put on.
But generally speaking, there's a lot of money out there. There is so much money out there. I watch the business shows a lot, and people are buying homes with cash, with heavy down, 30% down, etc. And so to come to a halt, maybe it'll plateau, maybe it'll go down a little, maybe it'll go up for another year or two. It's always, when you try to second guess the market and time when you're going to buy, you should just buy if you can afford to buy what you want. You should just buy it if it's going to be long term. It won't really matter most likely.
Are the high prices driven by the shortage of properties?
Absolutely. Like I said, if one person wants a property, they make an offer. But when 10 or 20 or 30 people want the same thing, we've seen $800,000 property list price. Somebody writes 10% over, 880, 890, and they don't get it. It goes for even more. We've seen 10, 15, and 20% above asking price offers coming in 10, 15, 20% above asking price. And it's not just in Southern California. New Jersey is experiencing it. Florida is experiencing it. Other parts of California are experiencing it. Anywhere that's more rural, suburban, and open spaces. Tall building condos are not having the same surge right now. People don't want to live in in elevator buildings. Basically, they want space, they want more rooms, they want home offices, they want backyards. That's what they're realizing that they want now.
But there's still, even though with the conditions that you just mentioned, there's a lot of building going on. I mean, everywhere you see, there's a lot of condominiums being built, right?
Yes, and a lot of these projects that are being built now, the plans were in place a year or two ago. If you're going to build a 20-story building, that doesn't happen in 6 months. That happens in 3-5 years until you plan, you architect, you get approvals, you get permits. And so they almost can't stop. The money is there. It's going to be interesting, yes, but at the end of the day, it's just a matter of you have more people. We're not getting rid of people. Population keeps growing globally everywhere, and you're going to need spaces. Downtown LA, for example, has seen a peak of units in about 2018. Prices stopped going up, rent prices in downtown LA area, because there have been so many things built. Now with the virus, they're doing 20% less rent. They're giving you 2 months free per year. So the rents are substantially lower in downtown LA now. And as the buildings continue to come up, that might be what we need is for more housing, even though people don't want to live there, but they'll be affordable, so they will live there. And after the virus calms down, people might go back to the big buildings. We don't know yet.
Do you see the buildup? Because, you still go through Santa Clarita, and there's a lot of vacant space there. I mean, everywhere you go, there's always... But it seems to me that people want to concentrate in the suburban areas now.
Yeah, I was actually out in Santa Clarita yesterday showing a couple of houses, and we're going to write an offer today on one of them. And we're going to write over a good amount over asking price on this one too. And yes, there is open space everywhere, but people, they have to work. You can't spend 2 hours in the car each way. Now, what happened now with the virus and the ability for a lot of people to work from home, people who can work from home, they are the ones who will go further. They'll go even 3 hours out of LA because they never really have to come to LA anymore. But people in the services, they need apartments, they need places to live close to work.
Okay. Let's take a little bit of a break here, and we'll come back in just a couple of seconds. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Chef Ava, superfood mom and healthy food educator. It is my passion and joy to share with you all I have learned as a professional chef over the years. Come visit me in the virtual kitchen as we live stream together. My online live stream class experience is where you'll be able to ask me direct questions and receive answers as I share new recipes and techniques. To register and stay current on what cooking classes I'm offering, visit my bio on Instagram at AVA5. TAR, and click on my link tree to see the current schedule and how to register. Tap on the Chef's Feed live stream button and sign up for my very next class. That's AVA5TAR on my Instagram page under Linktree. Once again, to register for my live stream online cooking classes you can take from the convenience of your home, visit AVA5TAR on Instagram and click my Linktree. Keep cooking, and I'll see you in the kitchen.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
Tired of lockdown? Let the reconnect begin. You belong here. Welcome home to the magic of Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California. Check out our new spacious outdoor dining al fresco. Romantic. Market lights. It looks like a movie set. Dine under the stars and enjoy our tasty Angelo's and Vinci's pizza, pasta, seafood, chicken, salad dinners, and more. In the cool of the evening, come enjoy our award-winning menu, new wine list, specialty cocktails like our Peach Bellini Martini, appetizers, and more. Angelo's and Vinci's now open every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for relaxing outdoor dining. No reservations needed. Just come on in for delicious Italian food. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022. We're going to need a lot of pasta to get through this year. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton today.
All right, we are back with Sean, the real estate guru. Sean, most people buy houses today, and in many cases, they like what you say, people, they're looking for a house that has space and whatnot. Is the idea primarily to build an ADU, and by doing that, kind of bring pricing down?
Boy, you're very knowledgeable, Orlando. That's the largest permit request in LA City is ADU.
Is it?
For residential. People are building them. It actually, if you do the math and really break it down, it creates a more expensive housing market. So it cuts out people who can't afford much, because people who can afford more, they'll buy the property that can have an ADU on it. You can actually have 3 structures on a single family lot now. You can have an ADU that's a separate structure that's maximum 1,200 square feet. You can convert an attached garage to the house that's up to 500 square feet or so, and you can have the main house. You can have 3 structures. And what that does, if you think about the maximum potential of a property, if you rent out 3 structures, let's say 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000 for each unit, you've got a much higher yield than if you just have the one house on the property. Then you can only rent it for 3,000 or 4,000. So it creates an increase in property value, by which eliminating some of the buyers who are the more buyers who can't afford as much. So ADUs, they're great for creating more rentals, more space, but they're not great in keeping property values affordable.
Okay. One of the things that everybody concerns themselves with is interest rates.
Yes.
Are they holding steady?
So far, yeah, they hit a rock bottom of about, for a 30-year fixed, about mid-2s, 2.5% in October or so. And they have climbed up a bit, and, they're kind of in the low to mid-3s kind of rates, depending on the program and the credit and all that. But The feds are determined to keep their rate really low at this point for the foreseeable future, which means that we may get movements in the consumer rates. But I don't know, unless something weird happens, drastic happens financially, I don't see that we're going to get into the 4 and 5% anytime soon. But again, anything can happen. And that's why I always emphasize, if you're going to buy and you can afford to buy what you want today, don't try to second guess the market, because I've been doing this for 30 years. I've seen people just get burnt by, oh, I should have done it 3 years ago, I didn't, and now I can't do it, and then they're priced out. So we think rates will hold for a while, but there's really just no real way to know.
Another consideration for people that want to buy a house is the property taxes, that they have skyrocketed to, I mean, it's huge, huge. Do you see any movement to try to bring that under control?
No, in fact, the other way around. Property taxes don't skyrocket. It's the property values that create it. When you buy a house in California, you pay 1% to the state, and you pay a little bit more. So we quote 1.25% of the purchase price in property tax, and that goes up a marginal amount every year, only about 2% of the tax that goes up every year. But as property prices go up, when you buy a $900,000 house or a $2 million house, yeah, you're paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year in property taxes, but you know that up front. What they're trying to do more and more is to eliminate the 1978 Prop 13.
Right.
And if they do that, that will create people who have low property taxes now based on their old purchase price. It may bring them up to current. They tried to do it in November by separating commercial from residential and to create commercial property tax to be reevaluated today, and that failed. We fought very hard to not let that pass, and we were able to. But as more and more people believe that property taxes are too low, that may change one day, and that will really hurt Californians. It'll hurt low-income people. It'll hurt senior citizens. It won't hurt rich people because they have money.
Right.
But low-income and seniors, it's going to be disastrous.
Give us your contact information, please.
Absolutely. 818-613-7355 is my direct cell, 818-613-7355. And my email is pretty easy. It's Shawn@soldbysean.com. Shawn, S-H-A-W-N, @soldbysean.com. And I'm happy to help anyone out there. It's a very important process, and it's pretty serious stuff. You know, it's a lot of money to invest.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us. It's been a real pleasure to have you. Thank you very much. See you later.
Bye-bye.
All right. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
When you invest, what do you need? Investors need foresight and prediction so they can invest with confidence. Is the stock market going up and down? What about precious metals or Bitcoin? The stock market may be treading water right now, but now may be a more opportune time to invest in precious metals. Are gold and silver booming? What do you buy? Bullion? Mining stocks? Which ones? The cryptocurrency market is also advancing strongly, but which ones do you buy? John Truman Wolfe, former banker and #1 best-selling author, gives you the answers in his widely read newsletter, Strategic Financial Intelligence, available at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. Wolf called the breakout of the gold market and the breakout of the silver market. He may not have a crystal ball, but his investment picks tell a story. Metals and digital currencies are on the move. Don't miss out. Go to strategicfinancialintelligence.com and get the Strategic Financial Intelligence newsletter today. strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
Back with Lifestyle Buzz and your pal Orly here. And now my next guest is a gentleman by the name of Raul Alejandro Ayala, and he's going to talk to us all about CBD products. Welcome to the show, Alejandro. Or Raul.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Oh, you're in the car. You're a man on the move.
Yeah.
What can I say? One question. CBD products are now a popular form of wellness items for many things. I mean, it seems to be that the list keeps on growing and growing. Are all these claims true? That you can.
When it comes to, I guess, internal pain, not stuff that's outside. Like if you have like pain outside you, like you hit yourself and you hurt your finger. The majority of the CBDs are for like internal pains.
Okay. All right.
The ones that are for like things like that are probably going to be like lotions and stuff like that. But stuff that you would digest, that's for internal pain.
Okay. All right. Like somebody I know that drops a ATM on their toe, you cannot take a pill for that. How is your toe, by the way?
So that I would have to take something internally and at the same time rub something on my leg.
Oh, okay. I have used gummies and drops of CBD, but there's also THC. What is the difference between one and the other?
The THC has actually cannabinoids, which is like the cannabis, I guess, what do you call the cannabis ingredient that gets people high or gives them that feeling of being high.
Okay.
CBD doesn't have any of that, so you don't get that feeling. You just get the feeling of your pain going away, like you would take an Advil or Tylenol, like when you say to yourself, oh, the pill I just took is taking effect.
Because the CBD are also used not only, let's say, for pain, like you say, but actually for motivation, for calmness, for stress.
Yeah, like for a good example, that day when I dropped one of my ATMs on me, I ended up getting anxiety because I had to basically stop my day, and I had a lot of stuff to do, so I already was getting anxious because my days were gonna be more busy now after that, and I wasn't able to do anything. I had to go home and relax. But in order to relax for me, other than smoking cannabis, since I didn't have any that day as well, that was another reason why I was anxious. I didn't have my girl with me, so I couldn't ask her to go somewhere to get some for me. All I had in my possession was CBD products. I think I took maybe like 2 bags of CBD products, and like I said, I rubbed some lotion on my leg, and probably within 20 minutes, my anxiety went away, and I felt like myself again, even without smoking.
Okay.
Like anything with THC.
There is the gummies, and there is the drops that you put under your tongue. Are they the same as far as effects?
The drops are a little bit stronger. It just depends how many. I believe the right term is how much dosing you do. If you drop maybe like just, I believe it's usually recommended 1 or 2 drops, depending on your metabolism and your tolerance, of course. You can feel the effects within probably just minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because right now, it seems to me that every single entertainer today is out there advertising the fact that they are either promoting it or they are distributing it or whatever. Is there a danger of this product being made so what is the right word that I want to say? Made it so overly popular that people don't believe in it anymore?
I think it's really more the companies that are coming out, because most new companies now are bringing products that, how can I say, have low dosage, so you don't feel the effects on them, and they're already priced. You would probably have to go to the internet or through like somebody that you know that knows about those things to get you a good product that is going to help you.
Yeah, because
I think that's one of the reasons why it's oversaturated, and like you say, a lot of people don't believe in it because they probably have experienced something that didn't really help them, or of course they were told by somebody that had a bad experience, of course, themselves.
Yeah, Raul, thank you so much for coming on once again. We love having you, and that's a great question Orlando brought up, because this is a new industry, and new brands to this industry. I mean, how can one really, tell which brand is reputable and which aren't? Like, what brands do you recommend to our listeners, that you've had good experiences with?
When it comes to brands, I mean, every brand is different. The best advice I can give people, if you really want to, I guess, feel the effects or know that the product is working, I would recommend anything with at least 500 milligrams or up. Anything less than that, you would probably have to take more than, I would say, 1 or 2 dosages, depending on your pain and how you tolerate it. But my advice always is get something that's at least, if possible, 300 or more, or 500 milligrams or more, to feel, of course, the effect of the CBD. No matter what it is you're taking, whether it be a drop, an edible, some gummies, anything that they make. Best advice I can say is take something that has high milligrams, and if possible, 300 or more. Anything less than that, I'm not gonna lie, you're not gonna feel nothing, and I believe it's just a rip-off.
Okay, that's good to know, because like many people have known that are we almost ready to okay, we're almost getting ready to go to a break, so I'll make one more comment here and then we'll pick up after the commercials here.
Okay.
Is there a difference, really quick, medical marijuana or plain marijuana? Are they one and the same?
We should talk about that after the break, because I have things to say.
Okay. Mike has set the law straight. We'll be right back.
getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master plan destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ka'anapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ka'anapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
We are back with Raul Ayala. Michael, you were saying something.
Yeah, this is a fascinating subject, Raul and Orlando, because in my lifetime, there's 2, kind of societal, cultural things that have changed like significantly. One is gay marriage, and the second is the access to legal and recreational and medicinal cannabis. Never would I have thought, 20, 25 years ago that someone could actually walk into the store and buy cannabis. 2 questions here for you, Raul. Do you think that CBD and some of its more medicinal properties kind of like opens the door, opens the gateway for people, especially older people, I'm looking at you, Orlando, who may have viewed cannabis in a very pejorative, negative light and kind of changed their opinion about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people got more open-minded, probably through most likely family and friends that recommended it and told them about their experience, and that's why they're open to it. My mom and my grandma were always opposed to cannabis. As soon as I explained what CBD was and how it helped them with their pain, they're all for it. And every other day they would call me and say, "Can you bring me some more?"
And secondly, Orlando posed the question between medical cannabis and recreational cannabis. There's no real difference in terms of the actual plant itself, right?
No, that's just a term society has put on it to separate how we call it in my world and like how we call it in my business, the real cannabis industry, the ones that are making profit from it and really don't even use the substance and know about it, as to opposed to people like me and the people I do business with, who are people who are running businesses and of course making profit, but at the same time helping our patients. But just like our patients, we're taking our products ourselves, so we know exactly how it helps us and helps our patients. And opposed to someone who doesn't.
And lastly, Orlando, we're talking during the break, and Orlando, you've said you experienced, CBD products via the lotion, via the drops and the gummies and whatnot. I believe the next step, Raul, wouldn't you say, is actually for him to indulge in some actual cannabis, wouldn't you say?
I would probably recommend, if not trying cannabis, maybe trying an edible. Maybe eating the edible itself and digesting it will probably help you more.
I have to come clean, okay? I am a product of the Vietnam War, and in that period of time, cannabis was the game, okay? While you were in a war zone, it was the thing to do, and I have tried it. I mean, I do have a problem with the smell. I mean, I don't know if I'm just a little woozy about that or whatever, but
No, I have people who smokers who aren't smokers, and sometimes the smell itself is something that people can't tolerate. Everybody's different.
Yeah, I never been able to. So you know what? I'm no saint by any means of the imagination. Now here's a question: marijuana or cannabis being a natural herb, many people claim that it's safer than alcoholic beverages. Okay, yet both in overuse are dangerous situations. What is the major criteria to choose one over the other?
I'm gonna give you a very good example. As you were calling me for this meeting and call, I was smoking while I was driving. I was able to pull over, stop, get together, put myself together to make sure we're doing what we're doing today. When you went to commercial break, I smoked some more. As you can see, I'm capable and fully functional of driving, doing what I have to do, and socializing and communicating with everybody I have to, especially your audience. So I think if I were to be drinking alcohol, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this. But as you can see, I'm smoking THC products, and I'm fully functional and can do all this all at the same time. So in my experience and my advice, I think it's safer to smoke than drink, depending on what you're doing. Some machinery, of course, you don't want to smoke because it does get you lazy. But sometimes it depends on the person's productivity.
Okay. Abundance usually produces lower pricing, but yet the pricing of these products seem to be higher and higher. Is there
no pun intended?
No pun intended, right? Is there, as it becomes more legal and the production becomes more open, are the products going to be dropping in price? Because a lot of people complain about that.
You mean the cannabis side or the CBD side?
Now you got me.
Both.
Both. I think the CBD will probably go higher, just because that's a new, like you said, a new industry, and it's growing a little bit more, and people are getting more into it. The cannabis, I'm gonna say, when it comes to the legal market, it is probably gonna drop. When it comes to the black market, it never really has dropped or gone higher. It's always stayed the same. It just depends on, like they say, who are the people you're working with.
With the legalization of cannabis, why would there be a market in the black market? Really quick.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
With the legalization of cannabis at the clinics and places like yours, why would there be a black market?
There's always going to be people like me that do not want to pay taxes on something that there shouldn't be taxes on, and we don't feel like we should be paying taxes on it. And in reality, we're depending on the person, you're capable of growing that yourself and having that for yourself.
Okay, really quick, 10 seconds. Your contact information.
Cool.
Give us your website and your contact, Raul.
You can go to www.raulalejandroayala.com, or you can contact me at 323-245-9211. Any kind of questions, cannabis, I'm here to help.
All right, we're cutting it short. Thank you very much.
When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
Tired of lockdown? Let the reconnect begin. You belong here. Welcome home to the magic of Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California. Check out our new spacious outdoor dining al fresco. Romantic. Market lights. It looks like a movie set. Dine under the stars and enjoy our tasty Angelo's and Vinci's pizza, pasta, seafood, chicken, salad dinners, and more. In the cool of the evening, come enjoy our award-winning menu, new wine list, specialty cocktails like our peach Bellini martini, appetizers, and more. Angelo's and Vinci's now open every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for relaxing outdoor dining. No reservations needed. Just come on in for delicious Italian food. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022. We're going to need a lot of pasta to get through this year. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton today.
It's totally normal to be constipated with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again.
No way. You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives to help relieve belly pain and let you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Individual results may vary. Do not give to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor today. You may be able to save on Linzess and make fewer trips to the pharmacy. See if you're eligible to pay as little as $30 for 90 days. Visit linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
All right, this is Lifestyle Buzz with your pal Orly, and we just had two great guests that really gave us great information. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, cannabis and real estate. You can, talk to Sean and buy your property, and you can talk to Raul, and you can grow the cannabis on the property you just bought.
And celebrate with a little toke here and there. And, what the heck, No, it is something that I think is like anything else that is a little bit mind-altering. I guess that's the right term to say. Whether it's alcohol, whether it's cannabis, whether it's anything, I think we need to really learn effects so that we can know how to, enjoy it, but not abuse it.
Yeah, and like I said before, I mean, it's just the entire culture around cannabis has completely changed. Like, I know people, grandfathers, people, in their, late 60s, 70s, who, would have thrown their kid out of the house for using cannabis 25, 30 years ago, and are now asking that same child to bring them CBD products for their sore shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, listen, I grew up in Costa Rica up until when I was 9 years old, and if there was something that could be said about somebody, I mean, people would recognize the drinker because they would stumble in front of the street across, going down to their homes or whatever. And people would say, oh, there he goes again, had a few drinks or whatever. But if people knew a person that smoked weed, that was like the kiss of death for that person.
They're like a drug addict considered. Same thing as someone that's, strung out on heroin.
So, I grew up with that belief up to a point until I was in the service. And then it became very, very notable of the fact that when you happen to be in a war zone, you do need to forget many things that happen because it's an ugly scene, you know. So at that time, cannabis was the game, you know, and for us who happened to be officers, it was a little bit different. We had a little bit different way to relax. We had clubs, we had more opportunities, and so, you know, we found our groove without having to indulge, but there were people who still did it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, my father, you know, served in Vietnam, 191st Assault Helicopter Squadron in Canto in South Vietnam, and he said, you know, it grew in the wild. It just grew naturally all around, you know, in the countryside, and so it was quite in abundance. And I think a lot of people, you know, got their first experience that way.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, actually, you know, there's a movie called Air America.
I love that movie. Mel Gibson and Robert Downey Jr.
That's the one.
Movie.
And in that one, they talk about the trafficking of drugs and the marijuana and whatnot. And that was true. That was very true. The war in Laos was financed and moved by Air America.
Yeah, look up the Golden Triangle, folks.
The CIA, you know. So anyway, like anything else, take care of how you indulge in anything. Overeating is bad. Over drinking is bad. Over drug use is bad too. So anyway, so just find your groove. Be happy. If you have any comments or information that you want to share with us, lifestylebuzz@gmail.com, lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com, or visit our website at www.lifestylebuzz.today. And with that in mind, I think we're out of time. Last words?
Thank you very much. Great show.
We'll be talking to you next week. Bye-bye.